Hello world, I'm Darrell.
And I'm Nina.
And this is the No Return Podcast.
I make up the rules, do what I wanna. Yeah. They don't want no problems, they want drama. Yeah. Seeking for attention is your problem. Yeah. I've been on my that's word to mama. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to the No Returns Podcast. We're back for another week.
Yes. Thanking God for another day and another week of life and podcasting.
So if you haven't already, you're probably watching this on YouTube. You should go ahead and subscribe. What else?
If you're looking for us in other places and you just can't get enough, make sure to follow us on Instagram, No Returns Podcast.
Yeah.
You can follow us on our Facebook page, No Returns Podcast. Mm-hmm. Like you said, we are also here on YouTube and pretty much anywhere podcasts are available. You can catch us if you're just looking for audio, no video.
True.
And if you are looking to be a part of the show in a little bit of a deeper capacity, you have a question, you're looking for advice, or you have really deep thoughts on what we talked about, feel free to email us at noreturnspodcast@gmail.com. Also, if you're a brand and you're looking to promote or you want us to rock some of your gear, or I don't know how else you promote a brand, but if you're looking to promote your business or brand, feel free to hit us up on our email. We love supporting dope brands with dope missions. And last but not least, if you still can't get enough of the Butlers, then tune in to our Patreon, which will be linked below.
And true. And let's, I guess we'll go over some of the tiers or some of the things you get in there. If you do subscribe to our Patreon, obviously you get this episode a day
early. Yep.
Okay, a day earlier. Maybe we should try it a week earlier.
All
right, you get this episode a day earlier.
That would be like mad futuristic.
Yeah, so you'll get this episode a day earlier. So these drop on Mondays. So you'll get this Sunday morning.
Yep. You will also get a bonus episode on Thursday if you are a part of our Patreon, which if you are a regular viewer, unfortunately, you won't get our bonus content where we feature more guests, more behind the scenes, you just get a lot more in depth with the Butlers. You may get a vlog video, what we eat in a day, because we're getting in healthy mode.
I think we were discussing maybe starting a book club. You'll get some of the books that kind of like motivated us to change some things.
Absolutely.
So you'll get like just more behind the scenes type stuff if you subscribe to our Patreon. It's really a good look.
Definitely. And we definitely appreciate you if you subscribe to our Patreon. I also have link down below in the description. Well, we have linked below in the description. If you are interested in just supporting us or donating or sending a love offering, we have a PayPal. You are more than welcome to donate. It's not important if you don't. Just the fact that you're here listening, supporting, comment, liking, sharing is enough.
That's it. Anything else? I think we covered our grounds. We're on all social medias. Just look for No Returns Podcast. We're on all social medias.
Except for Twitter, because I'm not really a Twitter person, and neither is Relly.
I'm not on any social media, so
old.
We're not, and you can catch this podcast wherever you catch your latest podcast, any podcast you may listen to. So you can catch us there. Again, No Returns Podcast.
We upload every Monday, like I said. And if you're part of Patreon, obviously you can catch us on Sunday and Thursday.
And we try to make it as easy as possible for you guys to find us. So everything is No Returns Podcast. So just think if you bought something for the store, you can't return it, no returns. Just no returns.
Which brings us to into our topic.
So let's jump into episode 2 that we finally made it to. How about that? All right, so how we got the name No Returns Podcast.
So that's kind of like our motto, I guess, in this good old marriage here. And I mean, it wasn't our motto.
It wasn't. Yeah, it's not our motto. Kind of was given to us. I think maybe from like
before
since we got
married,
engaged. Like, so since we've been engaged, we're married now, but when we were engaged, her mom would always be like, just remember that there's no returns. So I guess like for me at least, that was something I always remember hearing.
Me too. So
It's just no returns. Hey, Rel, no returns. Or whenever she would like get on my nerve or I would get on her nerve, it would always be like, hey, just remember that there's no returns.
yes,
You know
my
what I'm
mom
saying?
couldn't wait to remind us that marriage means no returns. There
Yeah.
is no return policy, meaning she didn't want me back. She was just throwing me to the wolves. It's like, no.
No, yeah. So that's exactly how this podcast name came up. So when we were talking about starting our podcast and really trying to come up with a name, I think that like she may have thought no returns at one point and never said it. And then I had sent her a text message like, hey, I think we should just call it like no returns.
I was like, it came in my head, and I just remember thinking, he's probably gonna think that's so corny. It's like, I don't know, Rel usually comes up with really cool stuff, and I'm like mad corny.
Yeah, so we've kind of just took that and we rocked with it. So
Yeah.
that's why you guys are now listening to the No Returns podcast.
So please don't return us. Just keep sharing, liking, supporting, listening.
And that's kind of like a motto that now, you know what I'm saying, that has been like
It's
grilled
stuck
into
with
our
us.
heads, basically. No return. So, you know what I'm saying? Because,
Fun fact, like just a little background. My mom is a minister, and she actually married us and did our marriage counseling, which was why she was so deep with the no returns.
how long is like original, like, so, all right. How long is marriage counseling when you just do marriage counseling?
I think everything's different. So I just found out actually in some states it's required that you do marriage counseling in order to get married.
I agree that it should be like something you have to do, but I was like,
Most sessions I think are like 3. Like most people do at least one session. You have to meet with the person marrying you.
how many sessions did we do?
We had like 10 or 13.
I feel like it was 13.
13 it was 13. Yeah, like mandatory sessions.
We did 13 mandatory sessions. At the time, I was living in her parents' basement. Long story, we'll get into it. I was living in her parents' basement, so
Fun
there
time.
was like no chance of like me missing
We
these
both
sessions.
lived with
We
my
both
parents,
lived
but
in it.
we had separate rooms.
So I lived in the basement. She lived upstairs, but like there was no chance of me like missing. And trust me, I've thought of every reason to get out of these because like it was just like I felt like at the time, like man, I'm really wasting my Sundays away just doing this. Like I don't really want to talk about this. Like
And I don't think we understood what it was like. First, we had no expectation of what it was going to be. Like, we didn't know what to expect. And then it's my mom doing our marriage counseling.
Yeah, not only that, it was just that I think for me, you kind of just feel like I know who this person is at the time.
That's why we getting married.
Yeah, like I know you. Like I don't really.
Why
like I
do
think
we
your
need
mom may
counseled?
have asked me a few questions back then that I just swore I had the answers to. Like, nah, like I know her. Like this ain't.
Oh my
that's not
gosh,
the
one
type
of the
vibe.
questions, I don't even know if we're allowed to disclose, but like.
I wouldn't. I would just.
All right.
Because I don't know if your mom ever changes things or.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't. Yeah.
We can talk about that later on without putting it out there that it was a marriage counseling question.
Yeah, so, but like for me, I think I've said this to you a couple times, but I feel like I didn't really take that as serious as I should have.
Same.
Because it was more or less like, I'm just trying to get through this. I think I used to complain to her, like, yo, why are we doing, like, this is a lot. Like,
Oh my gosh, yeah, because there was like work, and then it was like we had to marinate on things and walk away and talk about it. And it was like, those are the things that we didn't take serious because we were like, we don't really got nothing to talk about. We know we're getting married. Like,
yeah. So for me, if I could do anything, I would definitely go back and retake all those 13 sessions seriously.
oh my God, be careful because she might watch this and run us back.
I'm not doing it again. It's too late. But I'm just saying, like, if, like, I'm saying maybe, like, in, like, another couple, give us, like, 5 more years, then we can run it back.
Facts.
Because I need, 13 is a lot for
A
me.
refresher.
Yeah, but.
Plus, I think the other part of that, too, is, like, as we shared in our first podcast, Darrell and I have been together for 12 years now. So, at that time, we had been together for 9 or 10 years before we actually even got engaged.
Yeah.
We had lived together. We had grown together in our own way. Of course, we had issues like every other normal couple, breakups and makeups and all that fun stuff. But we already, in your mind at 24, 25, you're like, man, I already been with this person forever.
Yeah.
That was another thing. That was eternity is a long time. Till death do you part is a long time. No returns.
Yeah. That was definitely. Yeah. Wow. That was so
Right?
long ago. Yeah. It was just, we were just, in a state of just being young, like, man, I know everything. Like, you're not about to tell me something I don't know until you actually get into it. And then, you know what I'm saying, that things start changing and it's like, whoa, this is not what I thought this was going to look like here at this stage. It's a little different for me. And now you got to kind of like figure out, what was it called? Like your toolbox.
Yes. Oh my God. You really remember all of that. Yeah. Well, that's good that you remember that stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like, too, not only like, do you know it all? I had the thought just like left my brain. Back then, again, being young and feeling like you know it all, our personal development was totally different than where we are now at this present stage. Like, we didn't even, I don't know if it's safe to say, like, we knew what that was, but I don't think we really knew what that meant. I don't think we really had a grasp of, like, self-love versus...
we were still growing. At the end of the day, we were still growing. We were still young. We were still growing. And we weren't young, but we were young enough. Yeah. And we were still growing. So, you know what I mean? I think when you are counseling people, you just got to let people think... You know, you guide them, but you got to let them also go through whatever they got to go through to grow. So, at the end of the day... we still made the correct decision, and we're still growing. Yeah, for sure. I would do it. So if you are like engaged, about to get married, or you just got engaged, I would recommend counseling for sure.
Even if you're already married and you maybe feel like stagnant, or you feel like you're not maybe communicating. I don't know. So much happens in a marriage.
For sure.
And I feel like, honestly, truthfully, I feel like we're always getting counseled because we have other couples that we're around that are older than us, or that are wise, that have been around a few times. Like,
I agree. But again, I recommend it. I 100% recommend it. If you're going to do it, take it seriously and really spill what's on your heart at the time, because it does catch up to you later. Yeah. That is for sure.
And maybe you're not comfortable spilling it in front of the person. Whoever's counseling you, though, you should feel comfortable with them, because if you're not comfortable, you're not going to be open. You're not going to not only be open to share, but you're not going to be open to receive from them. Yeah. You have to trust where your information is coming from.
True.
And not only where it's going to. Because you're going to be with your partner in a quiet space after counseling anyway, but you have to be able to be open to
that too, and you gotta be open to like whatever awkward situations you're going to create in your household during these whole counseling things. But that's the growing part that you got to go through. Yes, so you got to go through that part, because that part is the growing part. But hey, if you know, or if you're currently going through like counseling, like marriage counseling and stuff like that, put it down in the description box. Like, what's the required amount? Like, I guess it's different for each person.
Yeah, I want to know, what did your counselor like?
Let me know if you went through 13 sessions like we did, or if you went through more, or if you went through less.
Home homework.
Yeah, let me know, because I'm interested.
That kind of goes into our next topic a little bit. Yeah. Communication. How important is communication in your marriage and in your relationship? And what kind of communication? Like, what is communicating to you? Like, babe, I'm going to the store. Or can I just leave and not tell you where I'm going?
What's communication to me?
Yeah. Or just, I don't know, yeah.
I mean, communicating's communicating just like you would communicate to anybody, but in a relationship, it's just a bit more important. Because, you know what I'm saying, communication, without it, signals get crossed, and it's just a headache from that point forward.
I can't read your mind.
Yeah,
I can't expect you to read mine, no matter how well you know me.
I think you got to communicate, which, first, okay, so communication is the hardest thing in the world. It's already hard, like, it may not be hard to do it when you're out, like, in a social, like, setting, or when you're out with friends. Communication's probably easy, you know what I'm saying? But, like, when you're in a relationship, communication can be a bit more difficult, because now, you know, you have to learn how to talk to another person, you know?
I think, I know what you mean in the sense of a deeper communication. Like, you have to be vulnerable enough to communicate.
Yeah.
What's deep in there.
Yeah.
It's not just about like, oh, I'm going to the store or I'm making dinner. But it is sometimes just as simple as
it is, but like, I'm talking about the community. Okay, so like if I have an issue with you, or I have an issue with something you may have done or said.
Yeah, for me,
I have to be able to have clear communication lines when I bring that to your attention. And because depending on how I bring it to your attention, you're going to perceive it in a different way.
And I have to bring it to your attention because I know for me personally, one of my growing points was not venting, like venting to other people. Like, it's so easy to just vent to get it all out and ask someone who's not in your relationship, am I crazy? Is this, like, does this make sense?
Right.
But they're not you. So, like, to you, they may be like, no, girl, you're not crazy. And then I come to you and you be like, no, that's nuts.
Right. And I think that it's also important that in the communication thing, whatever issues you have with your partner, you bring those issues to your partners first.
Absolutely.
You don't take them outside of your relationship to take them to someone else, then bring them back to your partner. You know what I'm saying?
Now you're clouded with that person's opinion on top of where you started.
Not only that, but depending on what the problem is, you would tend to create this judgment atmosphere.
Or like making your partner look like the bad guy. So
Exactly.
You look
So if you take it to all your girls first, or you take it to like your coworkers first or whatever, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh nah, he's trash. Like he ain't even like nah. You don't even have to do that."
True about your perception.
Exactly. So then when you bring it back to me and we figure out what we gonna do, then you gotta go back to your girls and they're gonna be like, well, you keep going back. Like I don't even know. But it may not even been nothing that serious to be, but like.
Yeah,
you know
then
what I'm
they
saying?
looking at you. You know what? I remember you saying that to me one time, and it was like, "Well, you gonna be looking stupid because you keep coming back and no one's actually inside of this relationship the way we are inside of this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So then it just looks like you're just playing a fool, or I'm playing a fool for continuing to go back to you.
Yeah, so you end up looking stupid, and you gotta go back to your friends, and your friends end up talking about you behind your back because you look stupid and you keep going back.
And you allow them to be privy to that information.
Yeah, so before you take this situation outside of you, which your situation as a couple in a relationship should never go outside of you two. You know what I mean? Unless you and your significant other may have talked about it, and then you was like, well, I'm thinking about taking the situation to so-and-so because they get good insight. And if y'all both agree on that, then go ahead and move forward. If y'all don't, then that's something that y'all got to figure out.
The only place that it should be going, if it's quote-unquote outside of you, honestly, for me, is to God at this point. Like, if I gotta pray on it before I even bring it to your attention sometimes, or like you said, like a trusted person that you both trust. Mm-hmm. Only thing which people I think have a hard time, I know for me I had a hard time where now I don't so much, is like if I go to someone else, it's more or less about my role and that's it. Like I don't ever be like, oh well, this is what real da. No, I'll be like, well, so like here's my thoughts and like this is where I'm at with something. But it's a personal thing. It's not. It has nothing to do with us as it affects the relationship because it affects all my relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like my role affects everybody I'm dealing with.
So unless it's like abuse, then at that point, those rules kind of change. You know what I'm saying? You need to make sure you let people know like what's going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whether that's friends, family, or, you know what I mean? They got hotlines and things like that too. But, let like friends and family know, you know what I'm saying? Because you'd be surprised. A lot of people aren't standing for abuse. Like, that's just not happening, you know what I'm saying?
Even in that, you have to, I mean, if you're in an abusive situation, of course, definitely reach out. But that becomes such a dicey territory and hard because a lot of times when people are abused, they don't even recognize that that's what's going on until it's almost...
Oh, yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Those are when it's okay to break communication lines. You know what I mean? When you're being threatened and you're being abused and, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Then that's when you kind of got to, like, cut it. But communication, if I asked 100 couples, I'm sure they would all tell me that most of the arguments start off of lack of communication, miscommunication, not understanding what the other person was trying to say. Because I may say something to you, but I'm not really trying to say it this way. But this is the only way I know how to say it. So I really want to say this to you, but I don't want you to get upset.
Mm-hmm. I like that one.
I don't really want to like start a war.
Yeah. Or sometimes I think too, one of the things for me that I've learned is to not be so defensive. Because I was super defensive. And it took so much for like me to come to terms with the fact that I'm defensive when Darrell just has like a critique, or not even a critique, like his thoughts I shouldn't be so quick to be offended by how he feels. And if it's true, then okay, something to address. If it's not, then I have to speak my piece on like why I feel like your perception, not that your perception is skewed, because your perception is your reality. My perception is my reality. But like just kind of saying like, well, this is my perception of what you're saying and why I feel like maybe it's getting miscommunicated or chopped up or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can't just be like, oh, no. Like, when you would say stuff and I would be like, oh, no, that's just not, no. Like, I can't. You love me. So there's not, that's the thing. If you recognize your partner's love for you, then you should recognize too that they're not trying to offend you. They're not trying to hurt your feelings. It's coming from a place of love and wanting to be understood and wanting to understand me or you.
Yeah. You just gotta be willing to just kind of let your guard down and have that open. Because normally when people talk to you crazy, you know what I'm saying, your defenses go up and you just like, what, who? You know what I mean? What was that? Yeah. So,
ready to fight.
And a lot of people probably still carry that type of mentality when they're in a significant other and you feel like your significant other's telling you something crazy about yourself and you're like, what? Nah. You know what I'm saying? So like you kind of gotta have that open, like, all right, well maybe. You kind of gotta look at yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Maybe I am. I've been told this more than once, so maybe I do have this. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe, you know what I mean? It should make you look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? And really put some things together. But just leave like that defensive mind frame at home. Hopefully, your significant other can leave their defensive mind frame at home, and you guys can try to have like some type of clear line of communication. And it doesn't end out in all-out war, and now you're sleeping on it. Do people really sleep on a couch?
I would love to know
that's a
mean,
better question.
I feel like we've been there.
I've been there before, but I haven't been there because you kicked me out of my bed.
No, I'm not kicking you out of our bed.
No, I've been there because I'm choosing to sleep on the couch tonight.
Space.
Yeah. That's why I've been there, but I have never been there because you said, "Oh no, I'm in the doghouse and I have to sleep on the couch."
Yeah, nah. We don't even operate like that though, for real.
No.
Life.
In the description box, let me know. I mean, in the comment section down here, let me know if you slept on the couch. Men, have you slept on the couch? Have you been in a doghouse?
Do y'all put y'all partners out?
I need to know.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? Oh my God! I can't even imagine.
I'm interested
what your
to know.
reaction would be like if I was like, "Nah, you gotta go. Find somewhere else to stay tonight."
Okay.
What?
Yeah, not happening.
Do I pay bills here?
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine doing that. That just goes to, again, another piece of communication is just not crossing certain lines for us. I will never, ever, they say never, but it's just not my characteristic to like flat out just disrespect you or cuss you out. Like,
yeah, and that's the same thing with me. Like, I would never cross a bridge that I can't come back, no matter like how mad I am. You know what I'm saying? So like, I would never call her out of her name. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, never would I ever put hands on her. Like, I just
might think it.
I would. Whenever we're going through whatever we're going through, like obviously it's always from a respect point of view. You know what I'm saying? It's never like anything crazy or anything that I can't recover from. You know what I'm saying? And I always keep that in mind.
I wouldn't even, honestly, like for me, I don't want to cross that space because I love you. Like I wouldn't have chose you to be my life partner if I can't Oh.
Yeah, it's because the thing.
Oh. Okay.
When it gets like the surge of power, it's.
Oh, it does that. Okay. I chose you as my partner. So, like, I love you. I don't even have a desire to, like, be disrespectful. Even when I'm mad, like, that's not my desire. I'm mad because I'm not getting my point across, or you're not understanding my point the way that I'm understanding my point, or whatever, or you hurt my feelings, whatever, my pride. Whatever the case may be, I don't have a desire to want to disrespect you or to say something crazy because I have whole love in my heart. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
so if you guys find out that it is kind of hard, okay, I've been not in situations, but I've been around situations where like two couples or a couple may like go to war with each other and
God.
beef in front of people, and they start going crazy.
Yo, that'd be mad awkward too.
And I'd be like, wow. Like in my brain, I'm like, dang, you gonna let me say that? Like,
my eyes got real big. Like, what is happening?
And then you know what I mean, she might rebuttal something, and I'd be like, yo, dog, I know that ain't true. Don't let her. But in my brain, I'm saying that. But like realistically, it's kind of like, yo, all right, let's relax, because like y'all talking crazy to each other. Yeah. But y'all talking crazy to each other, but like, you know what I'm saying those things that, you know, people say when they been out of shape with each other, like you can't come back from them things.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't recover from them things. I can't spit that hate at you and then come back to show you love. Cause you know what I'm saying? Because you know what I mean? When you get pissed off, what you say is how you really feel. You know what I'm saying? You just been holding it in. You know what I mean? So like, I can't come back to you and just like try to fill you up with love now after I done just tore you to pieces.
Because now I want to know, like, wow, you either said that to hurt my feelings on purpose, which is just as bad as, dang, is that really how you feel about me?
Yes. So,
because we need to address that, and that's how do I change your perception, or can I change your perception? Because
so I would first things first, figure out how your partner likes to communicate.
You know what's funny? I was thinking about it too. Like, there is no point that I could ever drive home by putting my hands on you. Like, even for females, like, if you put your hands on a man, in my personal opinion, I'm not condoning no violence, but like, be prepared. The same way if you hit a chick in the street or wherever, she can fight you back. A human can fight you back, period. But I said to say, like, we don't even play with our hands or none of that.
No, we don't do that. Men, if you are in that situation and hands are put on you, just remove yourself, man. It's going to make your life a lot easier. You're not going to win that battle. Anywhere. I mean, you might win that battle with the girl, but you're not going to win that battle with the law, my guy.
Nope.
It is what it is. It's just remove yourself, you know what I'm saying? And once you remove yourself, don't throw yourself back into that situation. Because you know when things get heated, that's where things can go. Like, that's where things get taken to. They get taken to the next level. And now she's putting hands on you. That's making you angry. You want to put hands on her. Just leave the situation. Just leave the situation. And get out of sight, man. Get out of dodge. Protect yourself.
Know your limits, and this is part of communication. Knowing your partner's limits. Asking your partner's limits.
Facts.
Yo, have you ever been in a toxic relationship like that?
No.
Me neither.
No.
I know my limits.
Yeah. So, ask your partner how he likes to communicate. Men, ask your partner how she likes to communicate. Take note of that. And just know that it's not going to be perfect the first couple hundred times. But eventually you guys are going to hit a streak where you be like, dang, I think we figured out how I communicate to her, and I know what triggers her, I know what doesn't, I know what words really set her off, and I know what words don't.
And even just in this day and age, you said something really important, like, how do you communicate? I know for me, like, I used to let off by writing letters, where now, like, I'd rather just talk to you face to face so I can see your facial expressions, hear your tone. Like, text message, there's no tone. Yeah, I know how you talk in real life, but like, I can't assume in a text message that's your tone, because that gets choppy too. For sure. I'd rather be like on the phone, and if only if I can't be in person.
Yeah, so keep practicing communication.
Facts.
It'll come in due time. Moving on to our next topic. Do women want men to lead, or can they both lead together?
Or do some men want women to lead?
Or do some men want women to lead? That's a great question.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't trying to offend nobody, but like, if you come from a household where like a mother was a strong lead, you may be expecting your female partner to take the reins. Yeah, or your mother did, or vice versa.
Yeah, you may come from like a single parent household where your mom was the full. She was the hustler. She was the grinder. When things was needed, she made it happen. So, you know, and if you're a female, you came from that. So now you got that same mentality. You know what I'm saying? So now it's kind of hard for you to let off the gas and let a man come in and help you out, or take the lead, or kind of guide where he wants the relationship to go, or if y'all are married, guy where he wants.
What does that mean to you, I guess, or to us? Like, what does it mean to lead versus?
See, I don't know because I feel like my parents led together.
Same. I mean,
Like it was like you know what I mean, everything was a decision process. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they always compromised.
yeah.
So like there was never like nothing crazy where my dad was like, nah, step back, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do like I feel like they always met in the middle.
I feel like my parents met in the middle too. I feel like both of us grew up though, like where our dad was in his own way had a household, but so was our mom. Yeah, like it was a joint thing. Like it was always recognized that like as a protector, my dad is definitely head of household. Like if something's going wrong or something needs fixed or whatever, in that case, like he's the law. At the end of the day, if there's something that he ain't on board with, then
and I think that's like how it is in most households. Like so mine was the same, but I feel like
but they talked about things.
Yeah, like my dad and mom talked about things too, but when you have a dad and then the dad has two sons, you know what I'm saying? So not only does my dad become the protector of the house while we're young, but when we get older, now we have my dad, you have me, then you have my brother, and we're all the protectors of the house. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I feel like in that sense, your father really was the lead because you don't have sisters. You didn't have women growing up. So your dad taught you guys how to be guys, so to speak.
Right. So, you know, your dad teaches you these lessons, but
I actually spent more time with my dad in early childhood than my mom because of my mom's work schedule.
Yeah. So your dad teaches you these lessons. So dad teaches you these lessons. Not that mom cannot teach you these lessons, because obviously they can. So it's nothing that women can't teach you.
Yeah, I guess like what is leading? Like for some people that's financial. For some people that's. I
think it was. I asked some people at my job, like. The question basically like, do women want men to lead or whatever. I think most people view leading as the men takes the head role in the house. So when bills need to be paid, you know what I mean, my man is going to make sure they get paid. You know what I'm saying? Wherever he leads to, I follow, because I know he's not about to take us through like some crazy situation. And if we do go through some crazy situation, I know that he's going to be like the provider and the fighter. So, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like I do understand what you're saying.
I feel like that's what leading is, but I feel like that's putting a lot of responsibility on one person.
Right.
And then you supposed to sit back and enjoy the ride?
Right. Or like, so while you're paying the bills and working and providing, I'm just supposed to be like, what, cleaning and raising the kids? Or like, what am I doing?
Yeah. So, all right. So before we go any further, in the comment box below, let us know, what is leading? What do you consider leading? Are you in a relationship right now where like your partner is the leader? Or maybe we got leading all wrong, which is possible.
Very possible, because we have a partnership.
Yeah. So let me know what leading is in your eyes. Let me know what leading is, like the description of leading is to you. Let me know if we got it down to a T, or let us know if we are just like super off. I don't lead her anywhere. And she doesn't lead me. We just come to the middle and meet in the middle and decide like, all right, so we can go this way or we can go that way. You know what I'm saying? And
even
we
like
just go.
That kind of leads us. These segues are amazing today, babe. Because like for me, the financial part of it is like, well, if we both work. So like, am I just giving you all my money and I'm trusting and expecting you to just pay all the bills, and then I'm just blindly, you know what I'm saying? Like we sit down, we talk about, okay, this needs paid. Okay, I paid this, I did this. But like, it's funny. I was talking to one of my family members, and we were speaking about the joint account because they only have a joint account. They don't have separate personal accounts.
Okay.
And I was like, well, how do you like surprise them? Because they could see where all your money, like, oh my God.
That light is going to have to be like, it's going to. All right, guys, this light's probably going to do this like a couple more times.
Oh, wow.
That's super bright now. Yeah, because it wasn't all the way up.
Got you.
Just ignore the light. I promise there's nothing
we not
crazy
going
on. I'm keeping all this in because this is just organically us. So,
absolutely. Again, we are everything for this podcast, the engineers, everything. So we
deal with it.
We're the crew, okay?
Hopefully
you don't get seizures, but it's not like it was strobing.
I don't have insurance for you to get seizures, so don't watch this video if that's the case.
Watch at your own discretion.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I thought it was interesting, and I was just sharing like, well, I was raised that you have like house money, the joint account, so to speak, and then your own personal money. But like sometimes that's not possible.
Facts.
And you know, money is a major contention point for a lot of couples. But
Yeah.
I didn't realize like how much finances is a big deal for people.
Yeah, I think finances are huge. Again, how you were raised, how your parents were with money, that determines how your background is with money. Maybe you came up in a household struggling, so that makes you hold tighter to money. And now you know the importance of money because you grew up not having it. Or maybe your parents they can splurge a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You can get the expensive things you want.
And your work ethic obviously everything plays a part into it, but it makes me wonder, like when I worked, one of my bosses, who was a guy, I remember one of my coworkers saying like, oh, well, my wife handles all that. And my boss was like almost offended, like, you're a man, you should be doing all the fine. And I was like, wait, so women can't do math? Like,
Yeah.
we can't, you know. Let me just remind you that like before we were a couple, I was my own individual person living on my own or whatever, having to deal with my own finances before we joined our stuff. Before we took on each other's bills. Like, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. But ultimately, let's figure out in the relationship who's better at finances. Maybe you both suck at finances, and that's cool. So now we can deal with it together. I never really was like, I don't really like the idea of just one person handling the finances.
Me either.
And then they just telling you, yo, this is what we got for the month. Don't spend more than
Anything can happen. Like, what if you die? What if, like, I don't know.
You don't know the password to certain accounts, or, you know, you don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? You just in the dark. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I rather... If one person is handling finances, maybe we
talk about it.
You update me, but you know, keep me in the loop about everything though, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like if I'm gonna do that, you might as well just come over here and help me with the finances. I mean,
but why
I know
are we in
like
a relationship if we can't work together?
I know like some people who the man just basically pays all the bills, and that's kind of like his role. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna just pay all the bills, and then you just go ahead and keep whatever you got. And get yourself taken care of. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm gonna need to make a little bit more money.
Yeah, because then like, are you not supposed to have self-care?
Yeah, and I feel like maybe that's just like an old way of looking at it. Maybe that's like old school.
Because back then, it was more common that the wives didn't work because they did what I said. You stay home, you cook, you clean, you raise our kids, you get them to school, you do, and not even get them. Yeah, sometimes, well, that's taking it way back to like the 50s when you had one car households. Where
So I think that at today's day and age, I think that we should be splitting these bills. Because you enjoy the internet probably more. You probably enjoy the internet more than I enjoy the internet. So like, I need you to put it on the internet.
I would say it's equal.
I think it's not
for us.
For anybody, I think that I don't know because I don't. Maybe okay. So
let me hear about that lag one more good time. Like,
okay, so maybe it may be 50-50. I don't know. Anyways,
but no, there are. Some
I just
things.
think that you know. What I'm
like
saying?
I'll be more inclined because I don't really watch TV, but I'm more inclined to watch TV cable than you are.
Yeah, so I just think that we're in an era where these bills need to be split 50-50. It don't even gotta be 50-50. I'll take more of the weight off the bill. You just give me a little something to put up on it, and we just, you know what I'm saying?
Like I know couples that literally like pick like, okay, you pay the electric, I got the water, sewer, trash. You get the electric and the heat,
and like that's how it should go because I
go half on the mortgage or the rent or whatever.
That's how I remember my parents doing it when I split up. You know what I mean? Like when I was growing up, like my dad would be like, you know what I mean? Go ahead and take care of this, and then I'm gonna take care of all the other stuff on. You know what I mean? That's how I was.
We both eat, so we both go in on these groceries.
That's how I was accustomed
to seeing it. And it
matters
too, like what our income is. Like for us, we don't make the same. So it's like, okay, what can you handle and still have a few dollars left in your pocket, and what can I handle and still have a few dollars left in my pocket, and go from there.
Yeah.
That some couples don't even know what their significant other makes.
I believe it.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, to me, it's crazy. Maybe other people don't feel like
I think it's crazy. I wonder if that like signals a problem.
Yeah, like how do you just? Again, I don't know.
I feel like I don't. Maybe okay.
We're not blind leader. Like
I don't want to say
followers.
a problem because that's automatically like throwing like
bad.
Yeah, energy on whoever doesn't. But I feel like it's a little
Does it
weird.
raise flags?
For me, it would raise flags. So you living here, we mad. I don't know what you make. Like I need to know what you make. Like I feel like if things are a secret, then what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like what are we hiding? Like we're married. I can understand if we're dating.
Yeah,
then
no.
obviously you don't need to know what I make. Just know I made enough to take
But
you
I
out for
took
this
your
Red Lobster.
name,
But
like,
yeah, when we're like married, I need to know what you make. If we're not like we're literally putting everything on the table, then like what are we doing here?
exactly.
Yeah, at this point you might as well just be roommates.
That part.
Who wants a roommate?
I don't know.
Well, the way the rent prices are out here, you might want a roommate, and that's fine with me. But I don't want no roommate. But yeah. So let us know. Don't let us know how you handle your finances. It's okay.
What is it? Something lover friend.
I have no clue.
I want it all.
So figure out how your significant other grew up with the whole finance thing, and that'll let you. And you tell them how you grew up, and maybe you guys can come like to
And what you agreed with and what you didn't agree with. Because we grew up and there's some things that we don't necessarily, not that we don't agree, but we just have different ideals than our parents because we're in a different day and age. We're different people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I mean, I remember growing up.
Sorry.
I remember like growing up and like, I don't know, times were different. Gas was cheaper.
Oh my God, the 90s was the time.
Yeah. And it was just.
You didn't have all these memberships, Netflix, Hulu.
It was like the worst times, but the best times.
Yes.
Probably the best times if you were a kid. Probably the best times if you were an adult because that's how you grew up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now we got the internet and people are going crazy.
You get so much access. Yo, you want to know what really makes me mad? Is people thinking that they have access to me just because I have a cell phone. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't text back or if I don't answer the call or whatever, like, isn't that my prerogative? Like, remember when we only had house phones and people didn't have access to you? Like, if you were on Facebook posting, but you're not texting somebody back and they're in their bed, like, what?
Yeah.
Only person that should have this much access to me besides my husband or my child is God.
Facts. We have, like, fruit flies because we have, like, that
Fruit.
bend of that peaches that need to go out.
Oh, yeah, the plums.
Yeah, plums. They
And
gotta
the
go.
fruit. I mean, we eat
Oh,
fruit.
yeah, and that's gotta go. So that's what we're swiping
This is
at.
real
Yeah.
life.
All right, so okay. Yeah, so check your finances.
So part of communication, which
Let your partner know.
yeah,
Don't hide anything. Now, you know what I mean? Whatever you put in your account is what you put in your account. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like even your partner should probably. I don't think they have to know what's in your like own.
I don't think you need to know what's in the personal account. Like,
Yeah. Just make sure you're giving evenly to like your guys' joint account. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't be stingy.
speaking about how you're gonna save money, because you may have your own personal savings as opposed to your own personal spending money, but like you should definitely have savings together, in my opinion.
Yeah. For when times get tight. For hygiene products, for house repairs.
Yeah.
House
Oh my God,
upgrades.
remember when we was like tight on a budget and I was like really, really upset because you was like, well, we're going to have to figure out these feminine hygiene.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do nothing about that. That's like soap.
We pay for a lot of unnecessary, like yo, soap. What do we get, like a 12-pack or something like
Yeah.
that? It's like a little 12-pack. I think the 12-pack's like $6 and some change or something like that. Like, you don't really think about it when you're probably picking it up. But, like, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys are, like, Costco shoppers or something like that.
If you can. Some
And
people-
Costco's expensive. But, like, yeah, I mean, we're broke. We're like Walmart, Target shoppers.
Yeah.
I mean, Target's not for the broke
And
people,
between the
but-
two of us, we can definitely say who uses what way more.
Yeah, but like if you added up $6, I think it's like $6 and some change for like those 12-bar soaps every couple months. Is it a couple months?
Every month.
every month or something like that. Whatever.
Nah, it is. It's like a month and a half. I mean, it depends too.
So
like
you
if
add
you have
that up.
people staying over or whatever.
Yeah. So if you add that up, like you would be like mind blown how much you just spend on there.
Groceries,
on that alone. And
gas.
yeah.
Oh my God, we could do a whole episode on finances alone.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
give it a G.
And I just be mind blown. First, I'm mind blown of like how much everything costs. After I get mind blown how much taxes they took out of my check. Like, come on, man.
That part.
Come on.
We are almost at an hour. Almost. So, one of the things that we did want to touch on with the communication part, and all of this kind of ties in together, is understanding your partner, but allowing your partner to understand you. Like, you gotta be open and in your communication and in wanting to be understood. You gotta understand yourself before someone else can even begin to understand you, because you might send them on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't know who you are as an individual, and now you're expecting someone to figure out.
Yeah, those are tough times.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about when we got together. Like, we were teenagers.
Yeah. I think you gotta, give your partner or whatever it is to you, you gotta give them room to grow.
One of the things that I think I've always respected about you is there have been core elements of you that you've never changed throughout our relationship in a good way. Like, it's not like, oh, he doesn't. It was like you knew who you were in a lot of areas of your life already.
Yeah.
I
think
feel
I
I had that.
beat peer pressure super early.
Really?
Yeah. Because I was never the guy that wanted to be in the in crowd. Like,
oh, yeah.
I don't want to be with you cool people. You guys are too cool for my blood.
And I've always been social, but that's also kind of worked to the demise more than
yeah, so you've always been
foundation.
social, so they're automatically going to throw you in with the cool people.
And not even just being swayed. Like, you can be social and know who you are.
You can, but when you're social, okay, but I know you, so I know how easy it is to get you to
peer pressure.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I know you, so like
that's because Sunshine raised me.
For me, it's just simple as like, you know what I mean, like. I mean, it's gonna sound bad, but find me the table with the losers, and I need to be there.
See, and I didn't. Not that I was trying to be with the cool kids. I've always just felt like everyone should have a certain level of acceptance. Be it if you were a quote unquote loser, cool, whatever. Like, you shouldn't have to feel inhuman or not accepted. So I've just always been nice. But in being nice, part of that, as I've gotten older, I've recognized for myself, came with wanting to be accepted. So, like, my acceptance of other people was recognizing not being accepted by certain groups or certain things. So, like, in wanting to be accepted, you become like a people pleaser. You're easily swayed because you don't really know. You're just not confident yet in who you are.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that I just wanted more. Like, I've always wanted more. Like, I just always wanted more. Like, okay, I went to school. And I felt like every grade I was relearning the same stuff. So like, what am I coming here for every day? I'm just relearning the same stuff. Like, I don't feel like I'm growing in here. I feel like I'm not getting what I need. I need more.
I also feel like that comes with how you're raised too. Maybe.
And then it was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I want to get out here and see what it's like.
Like, I low-key, they gonna kill me. I low-key had like a fear of my parents in a sense of not realizing my own individualness. Like, maybe they seen it, but like always feeling like I had to conform to somebody else's ideal. So for me, you just go to school because that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like, even if I'm learning the same stuff every year, like, this is what we're supposed to do. So I was a free thinker in a whole other area of life where I feel like you are a free thinker.
I don't know, free. I just knew that I wanted more. So however I was going to get to that more, I was willing to take whatever was coming with the more.
Sorry.
So whether that was like, you know what I mean, being at odds with my parents for just because I wanted to do more, then I was willing to take that more, and then I would repair this relationship as time went on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and again, to the acceptance thing, like, I think I wanted to be so accepted. Even my parents, like, I don't want friction. I don't want static. I can't handle it. Where now I can. Now I can handle confrontation and static because I know who I am. But when you don't know who you are, it's like you're trying to express how you feel, and then someone literally, and you, sorry, you know my parents. They're very strong in their opinions and in their beliefs. Now, over time, I think that they've grown to be a little bit more open with their beliefs and things, but like growing up I just felt like it was like, because I said so, what I say goes. And like if you bucked against that, it was gonna be, you was really gonna have something to pay for. Like I did not like consequences. Like I would deal with them, but it was like, to me, I was like, life, like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Like
so and I don't.
You just, I feel like, and I could be wrong, I feel like you just were like, listen, it is what it is. They're going to accept it or not, but I'm going to be what I am, and this is what you
I mean,
get.
I don't know if that was the case. I think it was just more of, like I said, I just wanted more. Like, I hated the pressure of, like y'all, like, the pressure of fitting in is crazy. Like, I hated the pressure to, like, go into a group of people, and then I got like, oh yeah, you know, I got to talk. Y'all talk for y'all to get
like
me.
What you like.
I don't like that because I like this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't gonna like that. So like, that's not even like pretend. Like I like, for me, like I don't like small talk. You know what I'm saying? So if we really don't have nothing in common, and like say, you know what I mean, I meet you, you know what I mean? Like I don't have a problem if I see you out, you know what I mean? Just let me dap you up, say, yo, what's up? How you been? You know what I mean? Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to just, that's not hit the
my whole life.
Yo, what's your number? Yo, let's exchange numbers. I know I'll never text you. You know you'll never text me. Why we wasting time? You know what I'm saying? That's just not, yo, you see me when you see me. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time you won't see me.
Right.
Because I'm like low key. But that's just like, that's always been who I am. Like I've always been the low key guy. Like I've just always been low key.
Right.
Like even since, I feel like since a child, I've just been low key. Like, yo, find me the back of the room in the corner where it's the darkest, and I'm gonna be cool.
Yeah, I feel like too, my exposure to people there was always people around just because of my parents, what they do. You know what I'm saying? So people were either always living with us. People were either always, my mom and dad, we was always having get-togethers. They did everything in the house. So like when they were marriage counselors, it was people in our house for that. My mom was entertaining them from our house. They weren't going to an office or a church. They were at my house, and I was upstairs with my brother or having to entertain myself when my brother no longer lived there. You know, my family, there's 7 of us. My siblings alone, there's 7 of us. And then I'm the baby, they had kids. So someone was always in my space or at my house. Yeah. And so I learned, like, when people weren't in my space, to go into myself. But there was a certain comfort level that came from always having people around versus the comfort level of not being an only child, being raised like the only child because I'm so young compared to my siblings. Like, you always had your brother.
Yeah, I did. But me and my brother are 2 totally different people.
But that also causes that like, yeah, I got to be great over there.
Like, I just realized, I think at a young age, that I had to get comfortable with myself, like, fast. Because, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just want people to, yo, you like me because you like me. You know what I mean? Like, you just cool, bro. Like, yo, you just cool. That's why I like you, bro. I like your personality, da. Like, when you play sports and stuff, you start realizing, like, yo, people don't like me because, like, I'm good at this sport. Like,
they mad.
Like, when I was playing sports in, like, high school and things like that, like, people just wanted to be my friend. And I was like, bro, I don't even... Who are you?
You think because they thought, like, you was going somewhere? Or
I don't know, but it's just, like, I don't really want to.
Skills.
Like, you know what I mean? That's just... You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just show you who I am so you can be like, yo, yeah, he cool, or nah, he not cool. But, yeah, man.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, we're almost at that hour mark. Yeah. But, yeah, I just... It's just weird. I had, like... I think my dad had, like, one of his brothers stay with us one time. Yeah.
Wait, were you going somewhere with that?
Nah, I just...
Oh, you just mean, like, in being exposed to people?
Yeah, like, we didn't really get exposed. I mean, like, we probably did. I just avoided it probably, but...
Because I feel like your mom would have been... But y'all didn't have people, like, live with y'all, but y'all had...
Because our family dynamics are all...
Totally different.
Screwed.
Totally different.
Yeah, so it wasn't like we had, yo, come on, yo, you in town? What? Oh, yeah, come on over here.
And even not the family dynamic, I think now you just put a thought in my head. For not only did my parents have that family dynamic, but both of my parents have ministries in their own right. Like, my mother is an ordained minister, but my father has always been kind of like life coach. Oh, yeah, here, come get yourself together because of his own life. Stay tuned for a bonus episode because it's going to get real interesting with them.
That's Patreon only, though.
But yeah, like, when I look at their walks of life, like, my dad had people that he went to get his life together. But even before he did all that, my sister just shared with me the other day, like, he always was that person, like, come over here, get it together. My mom too, like, my mom, I remember, like, her telling me one time, like, she took like a year off from work and just like survived. Like, she survived because, like, she had people around. Not that that's why she survived, but, like, I know, like, my aunt would watch my brother. There was always just someone
Your mom just took a year off of work.
Yeah, you have to ask her about that one time. Ask her about it. We can ask her about it on here.
And I can't take a day off of work without having the pressure. Oh, nah. I need a year.
Oh.
I'm telling you, the things that I can make happen in a year right now.
Facts.
Come on, man.
Facts. And ask her about it because it's a really interesting story of how she got there, of course, spiritually and everything.
I wanted to ask her about it, but, like, y'all don't know the short version. Y'all gotta give the long extended version. Like, my wife and her dad don't have a short version, and then you gotta go through all the reenactments.
Yeah.
And I'm not finna do that. I don't want that.
Don't you want to live it with me?
I just want A to B.
I think I'm trying to get better at not being so long-winded, but part of it is, like, I feel in my mind, like, if I don't give you this detail, then this part of the story is not gonna make sense.
Nah, it made sense. I got it. Straight A to B.
And with that being said, we are at our hour.
We are at our hour. So again, guys, follow us on all social media, No Returns Podcast. We are on all social media. Again, No Return Podcast. Again, you can find the audio of this podcast wherever you listen to your podcast, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
Anchor,
wherever
whatever.
you listen to podcasts at. You can find audio here. You're probably watching this on YouTube. Welcome to our YouTube page.
Subscribe.
You can always come here to get the videos. Whatever cool stuff we decide to put on here. Now, if you want to be special, go ahead and click that link down on our Patreon. You can get all the bonus material that we're going to offer, and you get to see these other cool, what do you want to call it, bonus episodes.
Bonus clips, bonus videos. Get to know us a little bit on a more in-depth.
Yeah, for sure. So that's for our Patreon subscribers, and still, if you're not a Patreon subscriber, you're still guaranteed to get a video every Monday.
We are still gonna give you our best content
sure.
and our best foot forward. It don't matter. We just want to really bring some information to the world and just interact with people.
For sure. So I'll ask you guys questions. Just go ahead and answer them down low in the comments. If you got questions for us, put them in the comments down low. Send them to the email.
Yep. Leave them on the Facebook wall. Comment on the IG, whatever.
And we will try our best to just answer all of them.
Yes.
Nothing's off limits. But just know that we'll answer what we want.
I was going to say, wait, you said that, my face was like,
But we'll answer what we want.
yeah, there's nothing off limits for you guys because, hey, the world is your oyster, however.
Yeah.
It's at our discretion. But I hope you guys really, really, really enjoyed this episode and the other episodes that you are tuning into. Hopefully you will come back next week.
Facts.
Or if you're on Patreon, hopefully you will come back on Thursday. And yeah.
All right.
Peace.
Until next time, we'll see you on Monday.
That part.